a video review of the Fairmont Empress Hotel in Victoria, British Columbia. I'm Chris. This is the traveling princess who's making a phone call right now, and in this video we're going to tell you everything you need to know if you're planning a stay at this hotel, including how to use the telephone, the neighborhood around the hotel, the common areas of the hotel, and the inside of one of the rooms. This room, a 2-queen bedroom. The Empress is located in downtown Victoria, right in front of the Inner Harbor. Downtown is right there, just down Government Street, so that's where all the touristy stuff is. You can walk to most of the things in Victoria in just about 5 blocks. This is the Inner Harbor, so if you're taking a float plane in or a helicopter, you'd be landing here. Also, some of the ferries from Washington State come in here as well, so it doesn't get any more central than the Empress. Note, the Empress has 2 different lobbies. This is the public lobby right here that you go in if you just want to look at the shops or the high tea. If you're actually a guest of the hotel and you're checking in, then you go in this lobby right here. This lobby, much newer, great check-in reception area, chandelier in the middle, pretty neat looking place. The original lobby, fairly uninspiring because there's no check-in anymore, but the areas where the shops are pretty neat, woodsy, just a neat classic old-timey feel. And in addition to valet parking, something really nice for a hotel of this vintage is they do have a, somewhat newly built underground parking facility, which means you can do self-parking here as well. But it is a parking structure under an old hotel, and so the clearance, 6'3". I'm probably about 6'1" with shoes on, so that is dangerously close to my head. And if you want to know more about the history of the hotel, well, you'll find a whole history exhibit on the way from the garage into the hotel's lobby. Coming in the front guest door to the main guest lobby, this is definitely the newest part of the hotel. It is a big open 2-story space, check-in to the left, concierge to the right, bell desk in the center, neat chandelier up at the top. And then if you go up to the 2nd story, there's some neat seating areas up there with views of the harbor. You can see the traveling princess was really enjoying this one. Just behind the lobby is a small but well-appointed gym with lots of mirrors that makes the space seem a lot bigger than it is. And then it overlooks the swimming pool, which is 1 level below. This is quite a nice indoor swimming pool, so you can swim in here when it's cold or when it's raining and be nice and toasty. It's also got windows to the outside, and then those windows up there look into the gym that we were at just before. And then just inside here, there's men's and women's changing rooms that also have saunas inside. Just beyond the gym is the hotel's Willow Stream Spa, where you can get all those fancy spa treatments you've been wishing for. And if you need to print anything like boarding passes or maybe COVID-19 test results, they have one internet terminal with a printer just near that spa. Okay, now that we've seen everything around the hotel, let's go ahead and check out one of the guest rooms. We gotta head into the elevator, and these are really neat, still wooden, classic elevators. These are the newer ones in the new lobby section, but the ones in the original section where the afternoon tea is look pretty similar to this old woody things with the sort of a chandelier type thing in the middle. You don't see elevators like this anymore. And then when you come out of the elevators, every elevator lobby has a window and a seating area. So if you don't have a view from your room, you can enjoy the view at one of these common view areas. Each of the guest room floors has either 1 or 2 places for ice and soft drinks. This room has both. Some of them just have ice. This hotel was originally built at the terminus station for a steamship line, and so because people would get here via steamships and they would bring very large trunks for their stuff, the hallway in some sections of the oldest part of the hotel are really wide like this, so people could keep their steamer trunks out here in the hallway instead of taking up space in their room. This is room 322, a 2-queen bed room on the 3rd floor. Come in, let me show you around. Over here you can see the 2 queen beds. The traveling princess is still making a lot of phone calls. Topher is pretty comfy on this one. Nice leather headboards. Also, I want to point out, if you look up the molding in this room, there's like crown molding on the ceilings, interesting kind of gray and white decorations. If we look out this way, we see the window. I'm not sure. The window actually opens. That's amazing. It's pretty rare to have windows that open in almost any hotel based on this vintage. It does. We just kind of have a little city view on the back in this room. Large light here. There's a big desk in the room. When we checked in, there were some like bread crisps and some like raisins or cranberries and maybe like a dip or spread to put on it. This has kind of a nice gold finish on it. Inside the drawers, we have a Keurig, like with 5 coffees and teas. We have what look to be pretty good teas. This hotel is famous for their tea, since they serve over 1 million cups of tea a year in their tea room. Nice little ice bucket, glasses, and then these are the equivalent of the dresser to put your stuff in. So 3 drawers to put your stuff in. This last one, small mini fridge. Oh, this is nice. They've got the creamers in here already refrigerated for your tea or coffee. That's the first time I've ever opened a refrigerator and just seen 8 creamers in it. 2 leather chairs right here, small glass table. The closet is in this door. I want to point out these crystal knobs. This is very old school right here in the hotel. It has a lot of these classic things from its original vintage. It looks like a closet, pretty small, but it does have a shoe horn and a lint brush. I'll have to de-lint. Oh, that put more lint on my pants than it took off. All right, let's not use that. And the final part of the room I want to show you is the bathroom. The bathroom's a small room, so I'm switching off cameras here. It's got an interesting kind of built-in sink. The soaps are Le Labo Rose 31, my favorite hotel soap amenity. And then it has a bathtub with a glass kind of screen here, and then an overhead rain head. And then we can also see the Le Labo Rose 31 amenities in here. This has new fixtures on it. The faucet's new, the rain head's new. This bathroom is quite small. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but alas, in hotels of this vintage, they never made these rooms all that big. Also, the glass handle on the bathroom door as well. Now, although it's an old hotel, they've added a couple neat tech features to the room. For example, the power ports in the nightstand come out and come in, just like that. You'll find these on both sides. And also the lights in the bed, you just pull them out and then they turn on. You put it in and it turns off. That is pretty neat. And here's what the view looks like in the daytime with a peeping seagull at our window. You'll probably want to keep your windows closed because this guy really looked like he wanted to come in for some tasty treats. I think he wants to be the most famous seagull on YouTube. You know, the seagulls aren't the only ones that want to come in this hotel. There's also a local cat burglar that comes in the hotel. He's neighbor's cat, but you may see him wandering around outside and even in the hotel hallways. But you can also see the view outside the window. We're looking at the back side of the hotel, so the water's on the front, the city's back here. The front side of the hotel looks out on the inner harbor, so if you're looking for a view, make sure you get one of those rooms, or if you're on the back, you might just end up with a seagull view. Okay, Topher, now that we've seen everything around the hotel, it is time for our final review and rating. So, Topher, how many Tophers do you think this hotel gets on a scale of 1 to 5 Tophers?
3 Tophers.
3 Tophers. All right, so let's talk about the pros and the cons and why this hotel got 3 Tophers. And so first of all, it pains Topher to give this hotel 3 Tophers because we were expecting so much more, but maybe that's why the rating wasn't better. We know this is a grand hotel in Central Victoria. It has an amazing history about it, but it just seems cooler and almost looks cooler and is maybe a better place to get afternoon tea than it is actually a hotel, and we'll talk through that as we go. By the way, if you hear some traveling princess sounds in the background, she's playing with our stuff as we're packing up as we're doing this. So the pros. The first pro, it's got a great location. Honestly, there's probably no location better than this one in the inner harbor, right next door where tons of the ferries come in, the float planes come in, the helicopters come in nearby, central to Government Street, the shopping that's here in Victoria, just overall a really great location. The second pro, we found the room to be pretty quiet. The hotel, I think, was built pretty strong and sturdy, so we didn't hear a ton of noise. We did hear some road noise kind of with the city view of our hotel, but I think you're gonna have that just in any city center type hotel. Other pros, the afternoon tea is amazing. You don't have to be a guest to stay here to do that. The breakfast was good, but the Eggs Benedict, we had better Eggs Benedict in Vancouver, at the Hyatt that we stayed in Vancouver. We enjoyed the waffles, also the avocado toast with eggs was pretty good on it. And what was really neat, and they didn't put this on the menu, was that kids under 5 eat free. So everything the Traveling Princess had, which was free, and so that's pretty nice. The staff at the hotel was all super friendly. The doorman that opens the door, the heated outdoor like portico over the lobby, so that as you're unloading your car, there's heat over it and it's covered. So there are a lot of these upscale things you get in this hotel. We also booked it with the American Express Platinum Fine Hotels and Resorts program, which under that program we paid about $300 Canadian per night for the stay, but we got a $100 experience credit, which we could use for anything in the hotel. We put that towards the afternoon tea. We also got free breakfast for 2 every day, so essentially $40 per person credit in the restaurant. We got a room upgrade, so the room that we booked for that $300 a night was actually the room that's 1 room smaller than this one, not 2 queen beds, but 2 double beds. It also gives you early check-in and gave us 4 p.m. late checkout. So there were a lot of benefits for booking the American Express Fine Hotel Resorts rate for having a platinum card. The Traveling Princess wanted to join us to talk about some of the cons of the hotel. So the first con of the hotel is just, it's old. It's an old hotel, and it was recently remodeled, and the Traveling Princess really wants to talk. So it was recently remodeled just a few years ago. They spent like $60 million on it, but they didn't change the bones of it. What do I mean by not changing the bones? I mean the bathroom is still really small. And it's actually really quite tiny, if you ask me, which for us as parents made it really hard to bathe her because it was so tiny. There's very little water pressure in there as well, and so it just takes a long time to take a shower. The room is big. There's lots of space in here, and so I would have hoped that when they renovated it, they made the bathrooms better. Fairmont Hotel Empress, if you are planning another renovation, please do something with the bathrooms. That in and of itself probably takes a topher off for us, because paying as much as we do for this hotel, we expect a pretty good bathroom. Also, it's grand, but we expect it grander. We've stayed in a lot of grand hotels around the world, and we're comparing this one as a grand British hotel to the Tokyo Station Hotel in Japan. It is a hotel that is made British themed in a country that is not England or the United Kingdom, but it was just, the rooms were much more amazing, the bathroom was much more amazing, everything is so much more amazing about that stay. This is not a review of the hotel, Tokyo Station Hotel. If you want to see that one, I'll put a link in the description, but that one got 5 tophers. You can see what that hotel looks like versus what this hotel looks like. And although the room was big, related to the grandness, the furniture in here just also didn't seem grand. It was big, but there seems like there's a big empty space in the corner that could have used some other like sofa or lounge chair. The window is really kind of small. The air conditioning is one that like comes on and off. Like I like ones that have a constant on from my fan. You're probably listening to this going, Chris, you are picky. Look, I rate hotels as like a professional hobby. So yes, I am picky. Okay, so that's what I think, but Traveling Princess, what do you think? I'm sure they want to hear what you think. No, they don't want to hear what you think. Okay, next time. But now the real question you're probably asking is, Chris, would you stay here again? And I think if we came to Victoria again, we would probably stay at another hotel. Why? Was this hotel awful? No, but we'd probably like one that has a little bit more modern amenities in the room, and definitely a bigger bathroom. Now, we haven't stayed in all the hotels in Victoria, so the other ones in here might not be better, but there's a DoubleTree and a Marriott just down the street, and those might be pretty good, at least from the hotel perspective. Not as grand as this one. So now if you ask the question, Chris, do you regret staying here this time? Not at all. We're happy that we stayed here this time. We enjoyed this stay, frankly. We were just expecting a whole lot more. So the question is, do we recommend if you stay here? If you've never stayed here before and you're coming to Victoria for the first time and you want something that's kind of grand, then yes, if you want to get the afternoon tea, you want that history, then absolutely stay here. Particularly great if you have an Amex Platinum card and that fine hotels, resorts rate. But if you choose not to stay here and you are coming to Victoria, then I do highly recommend you have the afternoon tea here, because the afternoon tea was really quite exceptional. Well, as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you in the next video. I've got a video right here all about Victoria. You can check that out for everything you need to know before you visit this city. And the traveling princess is off helping us pack. So, all right, see you in the next video.